Hello, friends from the manga world. My name is Hector,
And my name is G.
and we're here to talk to you about manga new releases for the month of August 2022. Now, for those of you who don't know, G and I work for Penguin Random House International Sales. So the titles that we're going through on this video are from the publishers that we represent, um, which include Kodansha USA Vertical, Seven Seas, Square Enix, and Dark Horse. So let's just get started. So we're going to start with some picks. G and I both picked a couple of titles to go into more details, and then we'll go and show you the rest of the list a little bit quicker. And my first pick for to highlight on this list is Sky Grazer by Masaka Ishiguro. This is from Kodansha Vertical Comics. This is a there's not a lot of information yet in English, at least for this title. The description is very interesting. There is this apartment building called Sky Grazer, and many characters live in it, and it's in the future. There's alien space police that live in the building or go around the building. There's also a group of teenagers who are, always looking for, hentai manga and stuff like that. And there's fairies. There's a lot of interesting characters, and then a series of murders start happening. And there's a young detective, a rookie detective who lives in the building too, and she starts investigating these murders. And so it sounds like it's very fun, very quirky. There's a mystery, but there's a lot of yeah, again, quirkiness in it, which I love these kind of stories. And I think this is going to be it. I was also looking into Masakazu Ishiguro, and one of the things that stood out is that he is it's a very veteran manga artist and writer, but not many of his stories have been translated. In fact, I can only find a couple. And then this is the very first one that Vertical Comics has done, and I hope they do a whole lot more, because I was looking through some of his other stuff, and it's amazing. And it sort of has this same tone of very funny but also weird into it. So that's my pick for the first one. And next, oops, sorry. Here we go.
Next one is my pick, Imaginary Volume 1 by Nito Yokohama, and this is coming out of Seven Seas. What struck me in the beginning is the cover. I love the
Yeah.
ponderous face with the hand on the chin. And it kind of fits in, right? Because this is a story about childhood friends. One of them, Tezuku, had a crush on his best friend, but his crush moved away before he could confess. They
Mhm.
reunite as adults, and because of the reunion, they're like thinking about their past experiences and reflecting on that, hence the ponderingness of
Yeah.
going back. And it's funny because it goes over like the imaginations of young love and the wild imaginations that come out of it. But now as an adult, it's more grounded in reality. Life
Yeah.
happens, situations are a little bit different. And so you walk through the story about these two individuals. This is entirely my kind of manga here. And so this is one of my picks. Highly recommend picking it up. And again, this is coming out of Seven Seas.
I love that the cover says so much with, the simplicity of just all these faces with the pondering face, but each one is doing it in its own
In a
way.
different
So you
way.
so
Yeah.
you realize that automatically that it's a group of characters, and they're all very different from each other, which is great. I
You
love
can
that.
see the personality
Yeah,
just even if the same
exactly.
pose. Like the one in the top left, like it's just a very mischievous
Yeah, yeah.
smile and looking directly into the like whoever is looking at the cover. It's great. This is awesome.
Yeah, no, they're amazing. So this is
Mhm.
great. Next up, uh oh, gotta stop doing that. Oh, I forgot. There's interior images. So we're going to show here some of the interior images really quick for you to see.
Yep.
And then next up, Shangri-La Frontier One, story by Katarina and manga by Ryusuke Fuji. Um, it's an isekai, and from Kodansha Comics. And Gino's, I'm a huge fan of isekais. That's like my it's my favorite genre. And this one, obviously, the cover is very, very striking and very, very different. But it's basically, it shows sort of the basic story of this is a boy, second year high school, who loves games and goes into a game. But in this case, this is a boy who loves to play trash games, which is and just going into trash games and just going through them real quick, not really paying too much attention, and going through really fast through them. And he does, a lot of them, which if you're a gamer, you know about that. Once in a while, you like to pick this game that you just want to go through and just play through and not worry about picking special objects or doing special missions. Just go through and fly through really quick. So he tends to do that for every game. But then he comes across this god tier game, Shangri-La Frontier, and it's a VR game. He gets into it, and he does the same thing he always does. He doesn't care about building the character. He doesn't care about, the levels of his abilities or anything, of his skills or anything. He just starts playing, and he shows up in the game just wearing shorts and a bird mask. So that's him in the cover. And then he starts, playing, kills a goblin very easily, a bunny, yeah. And all of a sudden he goes against this big boss. And what's going on? I'm not used to this. But we get a hint on the description that, obviously something happens. He should just completely die right away, but something happens, and he discovers in this game he has special powers and he can do more, even though he didn't get ready for it and he didn't work to get more skills. So I love the premise of this. I love this kind of story. The description says it's very action packed, which is also right up my alley. So looking forward to this. Next.
Next up is my pick is Yokohama Kadaishi Kiko. This is the deluxe edition one by Hitoshi Ashinano, and also coming out of Seven Seas here for this title. This is super interesting because it's about this android who is continually running this coffee shop in dying Tokyo. So basically, humanity is at its downfall. And the android is still waiting for their master to come back, and there are still some humans left in the world, and so you see this android interacting with people. This is a very subtly impactful manga in the sense where you see the daily lives. It's a slice of life, but then fast forward with time jumps, you can see the impact, the relationships that this android has on others. And so this came out originally in the 90s. And so a lot of people were unexpectedly joyous when Seven Seas picked up this license. And finally, this is coming out in an English physical release. And so highly anticipated for the cult following that this particular title has. It's, again, a very interesting concept here. I love the idea. I love that we get the perspective in the experience of this android that you see here. So highly recommend, again, picking this up.
Yeah, and it brings up a lot of like a lot of other manga and anime that sounds familiar, and it immediately brings to mind to me Astro Boy and some of the stuff that Osamu Tezuka has written or wrote, and we've been talking about Osamu Tezuka because a new edition of Bomba comes out later in the month of July, and there's more new editions of his work. So this is, I think, it's right on the ballot that kind of path. So if you like that kind of story, I think this is going to be like that. And also, we want to point out this is, it's a deluxe, like an omnibus edition or collected edition. So it has 450 pages. So it's a great thing, especially sometimes you feel like a one volume manga is too short and you can't wait to get the other one. This one will give you at least a little bit of extra pages until you get to that point. It's great.
Yeah, for sure.
So next up, and I keep forgetting the interior images.
Interior.
Sorry about that. But here you have some beautiful interior images.
The interior images look very like serene, quiet, introspective. That's what I think of when you're reading this manga. It's very quiet, but again, it's very impactful in the way that it tells its story. So it's highly anticipated for sure for August. Yeah.
Very, very cool. Next up is Momo the Blood Taker, Volume 1 by Akira Sugito. This is from Seven Seas, and this is a horror kind of mystery, psychological thriller type of book. It's a series of murders are happening, and a detective is investigating and is trying to find the killer of his lover. So the serial killer actually killed his lover, so he's like motivated by vengeance, and he suddenly while investigating, he comes across this girl with silver hair, and something happens. But one quote that we get with the description is, if you had the chance to sell your soul to get the power for to do what you want, would you do it? Meaning, is he getting that he might be getting the power that he needs to catch the killer and get the vengeance that he wants if he can sell his soul? So extremely interesting, very cool premise. And another manga artist that is very well known for his previous works, but not a lot of his work has been translated into English. So great to see that it is coming. There's more stuff coming, and there are some interior images here, and there's a little bit of violence, kind of a hunting picture of the girl with the silver hair there, to sort of a little bit of what you can expect, and a detective there at the grave. I'm assuming the grave of his lover. Next.
Yes. Next up is Ramen Wolf and Curry Tiger Volume 1 by Mbus. This coming out of Seven Seas. Oh my gosh, I love these two so much. I already started reading this. This is great. So we have the tiger here who very much approaches food as a survival thing, right? Like he just eats to like just to be full, right? But then you have this wolf who very much enjoys the experience of eating, right? So very much like the wolf does this thing where on his way to a restaurant he'll start dancing, and he does that so that he can build up like the appetite to eat. And the tiger doesn't understand why he does these antics, these little things, and he starts to understand, oh, like he's doing this so that he can anticipate like the best type of experience before, like while eating. And on the next slide where you'll see the interior images, I love how the wolf eats. Like you'll see on the side there, he's like furiously eating like as fast as he can, like really enjoying. There's sparkles everywhere, like over his face. Like he really enjoys that. And as you're reading it, you're gonna see all these delicious foods, so you're likely going to get hungry as well as you're reading through. So so we have this manga. Can't wait for it to come out in August.
Yeah, this is another one that a lot of people were waiting for, because this is a big manga in Japan, and in the announcement. I remember when the announcement came out, we talked about it, and we talked on our other video series that we have, and we were really looking forward to it. So I'm glad that we are getting closer and closer to finally have this in English. So next up, Island in the Puddle, number 3 by Kei Sanbei. This is a Kodansha comics, and I love this series. I love this author, is the acclaimed author of Erased, and in that vein of very haunting, sort of sad, a little bit of psychological thriller, but a lot of drama more. And this is what the story is sort of like that. In this case, there's this two children, a boy and a little girl, his little sister, and they kind of live by themselves. Their mom shows up every once in a while to check on them, basically, and they feel like the apartment they live in, it's always raining and always surrounded by water, so they feel like they are like an island in a puddle, basically, and that's where the title comes from. And then one day she shows up, takes them to an amusement park, gives them money, and leaves them on the Ferris wheel. And lightning strikes the Ferris wheel as they're on the top of the Ferris wheel. And the boy, instead of when he looks at his sister, he suddenly sort of sees the image of a dead woman. And that starts the mystery. And from there, it continues. This is another one that it's a big hit, has been a big hit in Japan because of the story, but also because of the author. That's Kei-san has a lot of followers, and it is only 5 issues, so it's kind of serialized, but it's very short. So in August we're getting volume 3, so right in the middle of the series. So highly recommend this one. And this cover, we love this cover. There's so many details, and the other ones are the same. They are very beautiful, hunting, but also a lot of details with the little dog and the bag with some snacks, and the little, I should have looked up what the name is.
Yeah.
The little ghost thingy on the left of the of the
Hanging on the
stairs there,
post.
on the
Yeah.
post, the stairs. So there's a lot going on, and I know that every single image that you see here has some meaning in the story. So yeah, can't wait to get to number 3. Definitely. Next up, and sorry. Oh, no images for that one. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. We're
Next,
transitioning here to something very different.
and then
Uh,
something completely different.
completely different. This is Cherry Magic. 30 Years of Virginity Can Make You a Wizard, Volume 5 by Yu Toyota. And this is coming out of Square Enix. Now, I have to explain something
Yeah.
first to like go into the title a little bit. So in Japan, there was an internet meme, and it became this internet legend, and it's particularly for the gamer community, where once you hit the age of 15, you'll level up as a wizard. And so you kind of can see a little bit of that gamer reference as you're reading through the manga. So that's where the legend came from, and the series just took it and went with it. And so you have this main character, Adichie, who on his 30th birthday realizes that he has this ability when he touches people, he can hear their thoughts. And there's this handsome coworker who is like very perfect, everyone loves him, and he's like the popular guy of the office. He accidentally bumps into him and realizes that this guy, Kurosawa, has a crush on him. And so hence the story continues on. I absolutely love this. I watched a drama. There's a J drama on this, and the drama is excellent. And there is a follow-up sequel to the drama, which came out as a movie that came out of Japan this year. And so there is a following for this particular story. In the drama, just so that you know, they do bond over a manga, and the manga is Ragna Crimson, which we are going to go over that because in new releases later on in the presentation, also by Square Enix. So if you really want to like strike the attention of the fans, maybe put the Ragna Crimson alongside of
Yeah.
Cherry
Yeah.
Magic, because they're going to recognize that. This is incredible. Square Enix, this is their first yaoi title. If you don't know what that is, it's exactly what you think with the cover. It's about love between two men. Highly recommend this. I feel like I can go on and on with this, and it's great. What I will
Yeah.
say, this is incredibly funny. As you can imagine, if you have a crush on someone, the imagination kind of becomes a little bit cringy, and that's where the humor comes from. And so it's a lot of fun to read this. And so yeah, definitely pick this up.
Yeah, and I do want to mention for people who are watching this video, if you want to hear G talking more about this title, please let us know.
Oh yeah.
And she'll record a 2-hour video
Oh yeah.
about this title only for you if you
two
like, and we'll
two
post
hours
it.
I could do that. I really
Yeah,
could.
definitely. All right. So it's another one that is very interesting, and it's I think it's gonna be people are really gonna enjoy a lot. I love the story. I love the premise of it. The whole sort of office romance twisted with a little bit of fantasy in it. I love
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So, and that's it for our picks. But then we're gonna go and cover first off the rest of the list. But we're gonna go first with the number ones, and also I think we have one title that is a collection, a collected edition of many volumes. So, on this first slice, we have Game Between the Suits, Volume One. And an ambitious ice queen is married to her work. Her flirtatious new coworker is convinced he can melt her. Let the sizzling game of push and pull begin. Yep, not much else to say in there. And it's from Steamship, one of the imprints from Seven Seas.
Hmm.
Next up is I was reincarnated as the seventh prince, so I can take my time perfecting my magical ability number one. Whew, I love long titles like that. This is from Kodansha Comics, and it's Prince Lloyd was a sorcerer in a previous life, but his new life has its own set of challenges, including being a 10-year-old. What's the 10th Prince Sorcerer to do? The popular digital first isekai adventure comes to print. Next is Criminology Hand Volume 1. This is from Seven Seas. This is one of my also favorites looking forward to because it hadn't been translated to English. Prepare for a monstruously good time with this action-packed mystery about a detective and a supernatural boy investigating the occult, which inspired the anime, which last year they released the first season of the anime. Uh, it's very lots of fun, very good. It's sort of like episodic with in a different case in each one, and there's a lot of really cool characters in this manga. So highly recommend it. Next up is Pulse Volume One, also from Seven Seas, the beloved Jury Girls love webtoon from Let's Zine, the Zine, that became a global favorite. Don't miss this beautiful full color paperback in English for mature audiences. So another one that I think a lot of people have been waiting for, and in color. It's amazing. So it's great. Oh, I keep doing that. There we go.
So continuing on with volume one, we have Sakura-san Wants to Be Noticed, and a high school rom-com with laughs and fan service featuring the flirty girl that you'll see on the cover, and a clueless guy. What a pairing. I love
Yep.
that. Next up, we have SHWD, which stands for Special Hazardous Waste Disposal. This is volume one, a hard-boiled Yuri tale about two special agent women fighting supernatural horrors. I absolutely love that.
Mhm.
Next up, we have the Iceblade Sorcerer Shall Rule the World, Volume 1, a riveting new action fantasy series about an ordinary guy named Ray somehow gains admission to Arnold Academy of Magic, a school for elite magicians. But could he be connected to the mighty Iceblade Sorcerer of legend? And you'll have to find more by reading and picking this up. And then we have Princess Knight, the new Omnibus edition. This is set in medieval fairy tale backdrop. Princess Knight is the tale of a young princess named Sapphire who must pretend to be a male prince so she can inherit the throne.
Yep.
Oh,
And
and
that's
that's
the
also by Osamu
Osamu
Tezuka
Tezuka.
as
Yeah.
well. So yeah, yeah,
Amazing.
definitely a powerhouse creator there.
Yeah, the God of Manga, they
God of
call.
manga.
Yep.
Hmm.
So next we're gonna go through the rest of the list. Um, kind of quick. We're just going to mention titles, and you can see the covers here. On this slide, we have Attack on Titan Omnibus 6, Volume 16 to 18. More Attack on Titan collected editions like this as we keep waiting for the final part of the anime. And then we have Bakemonogatari 15, the manga. Then we have two Blackguards in August, Blackguard Volume 3 and Blackguard 4. And then we have Blue Lock 2, which volume 1 just came out, and we're expecting this to be a big manga. So looking forward to that. Then we have Blue Period 8, continuing the story from the hit manga, that was turning into anime for Netflix, and it was also a very big hit for them. Next we have Cells at Work, Code Black 8. Then we have Chilling in Another World with Level 2 Super Cheat Powers the manga, Volume 4. And we continue with Classrooms of the Elite, the manga, Volume 3. And from Shuzo Oshimi, Devil Ecstasy 2.
Right, so continuing on with manga releases in August, we have Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro. This is volume 11 and 12. And so the second season of this is expected to come out January of next year. So definitely you want to be sure to grab those audiences before the anime comes out for the second season. And the anime is on Crunchyroll. We have Eden Zero. This is volume 18. The anime is on Netflix there. Next up, we have Failure Frame. I became the strongest and annihilated everything with low-level spells, light novel, volume 4. And then we have it also in a manga form, volume 4 as well, right next to that, also coming out in August. Then we have Fire Force. This is volume 28. Fire Force is also a very, very popular anime that's on Hulu and Crunchyroll. I absolutely love Happy Canonical Killer's Life Volume 5. This is great. You have like a regular person, that woman who just like happens to get a job, and turns out it's a job to like shoot people. So if you want to read about that, go ahead and pick it up.
Yep.
We have I'm in Love with a Villainess, Volume 3 manga. And then we have Knights of the Ice, Volume 11. And then Lovesick Ellie, Volume 5.
Excellent. And we continue with My Dress Up Darling number 6, the big hit manga, anime, and meme, and everybody's doing cosplays, and it's huge. So definitely make sure, if you don't have it at your stores, to pick these up. Next, we have My Next Life as a Villainess, All Routes Lead to Doom, Volume 7, the manga. Then we have My Wife Has No Emotions, Volume 3. Then we continue with Necromance, Volume 4. And next to it is No Matter What You Say, Furisan is Scary, Volume 4. On the bottom, we start with Other Side Picnic 2, the manga. And we continue with Phantom of the Idol 2. This is one of our favorites also. And there's Ragna Crimson at 6.
Yeah.
So if you want to do that crossover with
Cherry Magic in this, you got to do it side by side.
There you have it. Another big hit for manga and for the anime, and that has spin-offs and everything already, is Rent a Girlfriend, and this is volume 14. In a classic, but now sort of re-emerging, is Sailor Moon. This is 3, the Naoko Takeuchi collection. Next.
All right, we have Sayonara Football. This is volume 12. And also we have Seaside Stranger Volume 4. That it has a really good animation that's on Funimation. I think eventually Funimation will get all of its catalog merged into Crunchyroll. But the animation for this is really good. It's by a different, the English translation of the name is The Stranger by the Beach. So if you want to look for it that way, highly recommend doing that. We have Sensei's Pious Live Volume 3. We have Shaman King Omnibus. This is volume 10, or the Omnibus collected 10. But this includes volumes 28 to 30. And we have Shaman King on Netflix for fans also wanting to check out the manga here. We have Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie, Volume 10. Something's Wrong with Us, Volume 10. There is also a live action drama with this as well. So there is a fan base for this. I'm very curious about
Yep.
it. So um, as a drama fanatic that I am. We have Sundome Milky Way Volume 5. We have Survival in Another World with My Mistress, the manga Volume 2. The Dragon Knight's Beloved manga, this is Volume 3. And then we have The Girl in the Arcade Volume 2.
Yes, and we continue with the Haunted Bookstore Gateway to the Parallel Universe, the manga, Volume 2. Then we have Hellbound Volume 2. This is another big one. Um, and it's been turned into there's an anime, and there's also been turned into recently into live action, which is available on Netflix. The Heroic Legend of Arslan 16, the Kurosagi Corpse Delivery Service Book 5 Omnibus, and we love the covers for these. The cover design for this series is amazing, as you can see here. And then we have The Strange Adventure of a Broke Mercenary light novel, Volume 5. And on the bottom, we have The Witch and Beast, number 9. This one tends to come up on our top selling list, and we know there's a lot of fans of this series out there. And then Tokyo Revengers Omnibus Volume 3 and 4. We're just about get ready to have Volume 1 and 2 coming out this month. So can't wait for Volume 1 and 2, sorry, coming out. So next month we'll get then 3 and 4. And it's a highly anticipated. If you don't know about Tokyo Revengers, please go online, look it up. People have been waiting for the translation in English for this manga forever.
For a very long time.
Yes, and
Yeah.
finally we're getting it. So make sure you stock up on these. And then Topu GP9, and we continue with Vampire Dormitory 6 and VV Prototype Light Novel Volume 1.
And continuing on with new releases, we have One Dance Volume 2, Welcome Back Alice Volume 3, With a Dog and a Cat, Every Day is Fun Volume 7, which must go on my shelf of
Yeah,
cat manga.
cat manga, yeah, definitely.
Though it also includes a puppy there too. And then we have World's End Harem. This is Fantasia Volume 7, and that concludes that on this
Yeah,
slide.
that's the whole list for August. We want to thank you for watching. We also have to mention that because these videos are for international market, we left out any titles that for manga that we only had rights to sell into the US and Canada. But also note that there might be some titles on this list where the rights are limited, and there might be some countries where we might have limited rights. So if you have any questions, ask your sales rep, but also you can go to Edelweiss, which will leave a link to an Edelweiss collection for all these titles on the description of this video. But also you can go to PRH International Sales, where you can browse these titles, and then also you'll be able to see the rights for them. So thank you so much for watching. We'll keep doing these every month. Hope you enjoy it, and take care.
Hi, everyone.